I'm getting phone calls now. Good morning, everybody. It is, I don't know, it's the 14th, and it's a Friday. I almost said it was Thursday. Um, and it is April, and it is 2023. And I'm Bearhart. They're trying to call me again, and this is a really bad time. I, I hope it's not an emergency. It's my doctor's office.
Oh,
I had my annual checkup yesterday, and they're probably calling me with lab results or something.
oh
They
my
know
God.
better than to call me. I never answer my phone. Um, yeah, where was I? Oh, yeah, hi. We got here Ricky and Kirsten. I don't know, could you hear my phone ringing? Because
Yeah, it
It's a
sounded like
cool ringtone.
a UFO or
it,
something.
it's
Yep.
it's somebody whistling the Star Trek theme.
Love that.
Yeah,
That's a cool ringtone.
I've had it for many, many years. Here it goes again. They seem very intent.
I think maybe that means you should mute yourself and pick it up.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. You seem very persistent. Hi, hang on a second here.
Well,
Okay.
I hope that it's good news, but if it's not, we could retitle our stream "Bear Receiving Live Bad News." No, that would be not good. I
That
think
was stressful.
maybe that would be good clickbait.
That was stressful. They called him 3 times in a row.
It was, dude. It was so stressful.
Okay, well, he said he had a plan. Do you have any idea what that might mean, Ricky?
I don't know the plan. I was on a different Zoom call until 3 minutes ago. I don't know anything. My brain cells are gone. I have none of them anymore.
I can share mine with you today.
Thank you.
Where are we on the screen? Oh, we're right next to each other. I'm gonna go.
Yep, give me the transfer. Wonderful. Thank you.
All right, they have been properly folded. And let me put the volume back up. I couldn't hear you guys because I had to turn the volume down because I was trying to hear the phone.
Yeah. No bad news, right?
No. Just
Oh,
somebody
good.
who apparently doesn't know me very well and thought that I would like that.
Hey, everyone learns. There's a learning curve.
Yeah, I mean, the third time I thought, okay, that it's something important. And no,
Yeah.
they're just trying to like schedule my imaging appointments. I have follow-up to do. Okay, so I might as well tell the story. Yesterday I went in for my annual physical. And last year I did my annual physical, and we decided that I was going to have some things fixed in my body that I have been waiting until I had Medicare, because fucking medical care in the United States for normal people doesn't really exist. I've said this before and I will say it again. We do not have a healthcare industry in this country. We have an insurance industry that does healthcare as a side gig. And it pisses me off to no end that I've been dealing with medical issues for half my life that in a normal advanced Western country I would have had taken care of when I was in my 30s. And so I have a hiatal hernia, which is a disfigurement of the top muscles in the top of the stomach, and so I don't digest food well. And this results in all kinds of strange problems I'm not going to get into, but I've learned to live with it. And I figured when I turned 65 and I got Medicare, then I would, so last year I turned 65 and I went in and I got my annual physical, which actually I had not had an annual physical in many, many years, because even though, so as somebody self-employed, I pay thousands of dollars a year for health insurance that has a ridiculously, stupidly high, impossible deductible. So even though I'm paying many thousands of dollars every year for health insurance, I still couldn't afford to go to the doctor, because all that out-of-pocket money that's going to the health insurance, and I don't really, I don't have another, 1,000 here and 1,000 there to have my medical stuff taken care of, because my deductible was also many thousands of dollars. Okay, this is the way healthcare works in the United States, and this is why I say we have an insurance industry, not a healthcare industry. It does healthcare as a side gig, but charges through the nose for it. And so, in any event, I went in, I want to have this done, I want to have this done. I probably need new knees because of arthritis. I've already got bionic eyes and not quite bionic ears, but when I have my hearing aids in, they are certainly what's the word? They're augmented, right? As I've said many times, everything that's wrong with me it's all in my head. Eyes, ears, schnoz.
Mouth, nose.
All in my head. Yeah, I mean, I had a septoplasty when I was in my 30s because I, couldn't breathe. In any event, then all this business stuff happened, and I really didn't have the time or the energy to put into it. And so I haven't done any of those things over the last year that I was supposed to have done. So I went in yesterday and I had my physical, and we made a plan. And as part of the plan, they want to do some imaging. They want to take I forget the kind of scan. They want to put me in one of those machines where you
MRI?
Yeah, MRI. And they want to take a look at my stomach and see whether we want to do surgery or whether we want to try something else. And at the same time, there's this brand new therapy, which they've had tremendous success with, and I'm going to do it. They just need to get my lab results back to make sure that it's safe for me, where I'll take injections every week, and it changes my metabolism, and it suppresses my hunger, and I'm going to lose. I really need to lose about 25 kilos, which is about 70 pounds. And I've needed to lose it for a long time. And so this is going to change that. And that will that'll take the pressure off of my stomach, and it'll take the pressure off of my knees. And if we solve that, then maybe I don't need to have any of those surgeries, which would be absolutely brilliant. So this new therapy, I mean, I've read up on it. It seems pretty safe. There are some contraindications, so they're going to do my labs and make sure I don't have any of those contraindications. But I'm kind of excited about that. I've got a long history with compulsive eating, and I've tried to resolve it in many, many ways over many, many years. And so it seems time for intervention, because I've always planned to live to at least 150. And that is actually starting to look like it's not entirely pie in the sky, although it's probably still mostly pie in the sky. But I got a lot of good years ahead of me. And my dad lived into his late 80s because he didn't take care of himself. It would have been longer if he had taken care of himself. My mom is already in her 90s, and she's doing great. So I got a good shot at triple digits, and I want to see if I can get there. Anyway, that's what that phone call was about. And we're already 10 minutes in, and we haven't gotten to any of our stuff. How are we doing? Have we scared away our audience entirely with all of this?
Oh, no, not at all.
All of this Jewish kvetching about, oh, hey, you should hear my doctor.
No, that's good. You do that voice a little too well. No, we're good. We've got a even spread, I would say, except YouTube has 2 and LinkedIn has 3.
All right. Well, I'm happy with those numbers. Okay. So the first thing
I lied. Okay, I refreshed it. LinkedIn has 5.
You lied?
I'm sorry, I didn't know. Please forgive me. I'm but a mere kitten.
All right, you a bad kitty. Where's my squirt bottle? I need to keep a spray bottle here for the kids.
Squirt bottles on my kids.
My hiss is not very loud, but I was hissing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. So the first thing I want to do, and I'm going to share my screen for this because this is just too much fun. All right, there it is. I have an update on the flying car scene. And give me a second here. I'm going to share my screen. What? Okay, there we go. Yeah. I'm going to share my screen here. And I don't know, does this work when I put it in full screen? Does it still share? Oh, it does. Brilliant. Okay. So, I presume you can still hear me over that. Is that true? You can still hear me? All right. I could reduce the volume of that a little bit. So this is, I don't know, it doesn't fit my definition of the flying car, per my discussion where I said flying cars will never happen. Because if you look at it, here it comes. Notice the wash of air. You're not going to want to take that thing off in your front yard. It'll destroy all of your shrubbery, right? But it's also worth noting that this is a single person vehicle. They've named it the Jetson 1 because they know apparently about my obsession with the Jetsons. And the vehicle empty weighs about 50 kilos, which is, I don't know, roughly 100 pounds, right? And the maximum weight of a passenger, you see, these are all the considerations. If you remember our discussion, these are all the considerations. The maximum weight of the, where is it here? The maximum pilot weight, they call it, is 95 kilos, which is roughly 210 pounds, which is not, I mean, I think an average American adult male is a little bit heavier than that. And it doesn't say anything about the maximum height of the pilot, but when you see the person squeezed into this thing, you'll see, and notice that they're not flying anywhere where there's like plants or bushes or flowers. So you see how that person is squeezed in there? Let me go back here. You see how that person is squeezed in there?
Looks roomy to me.
Well, yeah.
Yes, I see how they're squeezed in.
Yeah. So for somebody like you, this might even be practical.
Well, maybe, unless there's a height limit, like, you have to be this tall to ride it. That might be an issue.
You have trouble at Disneyland, don't you?
You know what? Disneyland's not as much of a problem as like Universal Studios. That's more
or God forbid, Six Flags.
Oh God, don't get me started on Six Flags.
All right, so you notice there's two controls. The left control is just up and down, and the right control is pitch and what's the rotation one? Yeah, so pitch and rotation. And there is no yaw control. So if you want to turn, you just use the rotation and the I wish I could remember the flight term for that. It's like slipping my mind here. Roll. That's right. So you got pitch and roll. So if you want to turn, you use the roll and you use the throttle, and it'll turn. You notice that there's a little airspeed indication here down here, and it says 21 kph, which is roughly what? Oh, that's actually not very fast at all. Later on here, there's another. We get another glimpse of it later on here, where it says 48. Yeah, it's really, yeah. So yeah, that's about 30 miles an hour if you're looking in US miles per hour. And the battery life, I think, is 20 minutes. So it's a recreational thing. It's something you take you to the beach and you fly around and presumably piss off everybody else at the beach by blowing sand like really, really hard into their faces. But I mean, you know, the only videos of it are it flying over this little desert landscape and another one of them flying in a forest. And so there's, you know, it's really not at all intended for taking you from A to B. It is not a personal transportation vehicle. It's more of a toy, really, but a very expensive and very impressive toy. Its cost is they said 98,000 US dollars. Here it is through their little forest. So they're in Sweden. They're based in Sweden, and you know, you can see. So even with just one person in it and a very lightweight carbon fiber frame, it's still barely practical, right? So it looks like a lot of fun. If I had hundreds of thousands of dollars of disposable income, and I lived near someplace where I could fly the damn thing, and I was shorter and lighter, then I might want one. But that is the update on the flying car front. Rikitty, we have a comment?
No, we have two.
Oh,
Okay, so both on YouTube. First from Hamza Key Tech says, love watching your videos.
thank you. We love you too.
And then our friend Dermis TR says, get well soon.
Thank you. I'm not sick, and but I appreciate the sentiment, and you know, I expect to have all of these things done. There's a really good chance I may not need any surgery at all, but either way, I'm only going to get better. I'll still be old. You know, I still won't have any hair up here.
Look at that bald ass damn head.
Yeah, but still not gray. That surprises me. My dad was in his late 80s when he passed, and he was just like salt and pepper on the top there, kind of like I am down here. Oh, maybe a little bit less white even on his head, but he had a big furry white beard. It was lovely. I miss my dad a lot. I loved my dad a lot, and every year around his birthday, you'll see me on Facebook. I'll post pictures of him and stuff. Yeah, we got another one.
Oh gosh, I just went through my whole spiel being on mute. Huh? I'm a dingus. I have won the Dingus Berry Award.
So you're muted.
Oh, sadness. See, I warned you that I don't have the brain cell today. Kirsten has it. But okay, let me go through that whole spiel again. Lithin VP on LinkedIn says hi.
Hi.
And we have 7 people on our LinkedIn joining us to say hi. So to each and every one of you, we love you.
We love all of you. Yes. Oh, yeah. That one. Okay.
Radical.
I also have a new pin today. I'm going to start wearing pins. I've ordered a bunch of them because I saw Will Wheaton was wearing pins on his Star Trek show. And so this one is a little rocket, which I thought goes nice with the NASA shirt. All right. Tonight we're going to talk about generative AI again. And, you know, honestly, I get tired of talking about it, but there's always new stuff going on. And we wanted to talk a little bit about prompt engineering, which is just barely starting to become a job description. You're starting to see job requests for prompt engineers. I haven't looked at them very closely, but I imagine that they all require 10 years of experience, which I think is hilarious. Um, and
also impossible.
exactly, I see this stuff and I'm always laughing when they've got a job description for something that's, only been around for a couple of years and they want 10 years of experience.
But that's really any job, especially like entry level positions nowadays. That's why I had a hard time kind of like getting up and running, because even entry level positions, it used to be you got a college degree and they'd be like, cool beans. Now you need a college degree, you need X amount of years of experience, you need internship hours, you need all this stuff. And I'm like, going to school by itself.
And they're still going to just pay you minimum wage.
Yeah. If
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Well, as my Aunt Rose would say, fuck that shit.
We love Aunt Rose.
My
Like a good time.
My fictional Aunt Rose. All right, so we're going to talk about that stuff tonight, and also I'm going to get into a little bit about, and I haven't tried it yet, and I probably won't have a chance to try it today because I'm in the middle of recording, but I want to talk a little bit about Amazon's new AWS-based generative AI stuff, which has been all over the news for the last 24 hours because they really just released it. So we're going to do that. We're also going to talk a little bit about the coding assistants that are starting to emerge in the large language model AI generators. And Amazon has one as well called Code Whisperer, which, if I'm going to believe their blurb and maybe believe a little bit about from the review in Ars, it's not really a review. There's a write-up in Ars Technica, and they mentioned it, but it sounds like it may be really awesome. So we're gonna talk about that stuff tonight. We've gone way over time, and I have a lunch appointment, so we're gonna go now. Love you all. We'll see you tonight, 1800 Pacific. From you see, I burp all the time, and that's actually my hiatal hernia that makes me be burping all the time. And
burping.
yeah, we love you. Thank you. And we'll see you tonight. YouTube only, 1800 Pacific from fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. See you then. Bye.
Bye.